Hi, everybody. It's Friday. It's PoliTarology, and I'm here with some of my favorite psychics to give you the divinations, discussions, and dissections of all the political topics that are going on today. Well, maybe not all, but quite a few of them. Okay, so we're going to go around the circle and ask everybody to tell us what's going on with them. And then we'll get into some questions. We'll take some comments and questions from the chat, and let's do it. So, Val, why don't you start us off? How's everything with you, and what's going on?
Everything is great, and I'm excited because tomorrow I start the new series of channeling classes. There's still time to join that. It's 7 classes, so it's really going to be something comprehensive, really great. And Sunday, Gerald and I do our manifesting class, so you'll want to join that one as well. So those are the 2 hot things I've got going on, and I hope all of you will check it out on dragonflycrystal.store. See if you want to join in.
Very nice. Very nice. And Cleo, what's up with you?
Well, I've got the Mystic 4 on Monday, and next Thursday, I've got Golden Girls, and next Friday, I've got the Cool Crone Oracle. So that's for my next week.
That's plenty.
That's great.
That's great. Shari, what's going on for you?
Bunch of stuff, and I don't remember, and I don't have my calendar right here.
That's okay. That forces people to go to your channel and take a look at what's coming up.
It'll all be in the community tabs. All in the community tabs. So
great. And Gerald, how are you? What's going on with you?
I am doing very well. I am TarotStache. Tomorrow I have an update with Purple Elephant Deb H. So that will be wonderful. And then I am helping to teach the manifestation in the quantum field. And then Monday, I've got a lot of shows scheduled, including readings with Jane and Nancy. And then I have Helen, Irish Granny Tarot, coming on for a casual. She had me visit her last Monday, so it's going to be quite fun. And I would just say, if you like and subscribe. And have you seen this tarot deck yet?
I think I have seen somebody else who had it, but I don't have it, and I haven't actually examined it.
Okay, this is the Todd Alcott's Horror Tarot, and I'm doing a deck casual with this on Tuesday.
Think it's on my wish list.
Ooh.
So I'm looking forward to it.
I think that one's on my Amazon wish list. Cool. I have some kind of horror tarot on my list. Yeah. I'll have to look.
There you go.
All right. Well, as you probably have guessed by now, I am the Cool Crone. That's what that big red moon is talking about up in the corner. And I kind of run this shenanigan. On a week from tonight, we're going to be doing the Cool Crone Oracle. And I believe it's on the, what date is it? We have, on the 12th. On next Wednesday, the 12th, we have a Reveal the Future, which is going to be fun. The topic will be announced as a surprise. And on Sunday, the 9th, I have Sheila from Celtic Tarot joining me for political questions. So you'll want to join in that. And that's going to be happening at 5 p.m. Eastern time. And let's see, what else is going on? We're gathering to talk about the new moon on Saturday. So not on YouTube, live and in person in real life. So anyway, and you'll all be happy to know that I'm pretty much done with my medical appointments for now, but I do have a couple left over.
That's good.
Still have to go to the dermatologist and get my eyes examined, and then I'll have to get new glasses. But I'm chugging along, and so far, pretty much everything has been very positive. I don't really have a lot of crap going on, so a little bit, but not too much. Okay, so that's what's going on with all of us, and now let's get into some politics.
Yay!
I'd just like to remind everybody that this has probably been streamed to everybody's channel, and I like it when you come to mine. It helps me if I have somebody viewing these things on my channel, but also go to everybody else's, and just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, thank you, Cleo. I appreciate that. And I'm still hanging out at about the same number of subscribers. I would really appreciate it if 126 people would go and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to move on. Oh, you know what? Before we jump into the political, maybe I should answer A-Dub's question.
Oh, yes.
She wanted to know about this new moon, which is still going on today. It started yesterday. I'll just pop it up here. So some astrologers are saying this Gemini new moon has something to do with Saturn and carries much karma. Does this have to be negative? And if so, will the band of thieves get theirs? Well, Saturn can have to do with karma, but there's a lot of different indicators in one's chart that have to do with your particular karmic road in this journey. And astrology is a bunch of indicators. It's not a hard and fast, oh, if you have this, then this is your karmic thing that's coming to get you. It doesn't work like that. There's a lot of different indicators, and when you find multiple indicators that point to the same thing, then usually you're pretty sure that something's going to happen. This new moon is in Gemini. There's a lot of Gemini planets. There's besides the moon, there's 4 other planets that are in Gemini. So there's a lot of this very airy, social, charismatic, communicative energy going on. Now, Gemini can also be a little catty, a little gossipy, a little this, a little that, because they get bored easily. So once they get done with all the nice, fun things that they're chatting about, they got to chat about something, and then, they can go a little bit to the more, I don't know if gossip is always negative, but to the more gossipy side. So,
we do love to talk, we Geminis.
Yes, this is true. They do love a good chat, and they like to chat almost constantly. So now this moon does have some connection with Saturn, but the bigger connection to this new moon is that there's a square between Mars and Pluto. And this is why it's really difficult for Mr. T, because Mars squaring Pluto, squares are grinding energy, they're challenges, but they're also opportunities. So it depends on how you look at the energy. If you know it's coming and you know that it's going to be difficult, you gear up for it, you prep for it so that you're not caught unaware. Mars squaring Pluto can be the beginning of a battle, it can be the beginning of an argument, it can be stubbing your toe. It all depends on other things that are influencing it in your chart. But for this moon, a lot of people are going to stub their toes. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people who just have little accidents or bigger accidents. And it depends on your chart where Mars is hitting. So let's see. I think I have quick access to a little chart here. Let me see if I can find this. There we go. I knew it. Okay. So I just want to see where all the things really are before I start blabbing about them. So yeah, Mars is at the tail end of Aries. Mars rules Aries. So Mars is very strong in this square. Saturn is at has it gone into Saturn sitting? Please help me. Not Saturn, Pluto. Pluto is at the very, very beginning of Aquarius, getting ready to kind of move back into Capricorn. So it's not super strong in Aquarius. So the Mars, the aggression, Mars is anger, it's the military, it's knives, it's surgery, it's forcefulness, it's going forward. So this new moon with all this chatter, this is going to be like fake news, like, bad news, like people saying bad things about other people. This is going to be harmful or aggressive or just not very nice. I'm amazed that the D-Day celebrations came off as beautifully as they did. I cried through the whole thing. It was really beautiful energy, and that's the plus side. Now there's something where it was really prepared for a great deal, and it super typified the Mars square Saturn. Mars is the military, Pluto is power, right? And so all of that power from the world, came together. Even in the celebration, that was a beautiful expression of that energy. But what else did we have in the news? We had the stupid thing with Congress, with the intelligence, or the so-called intelligence committee. Trump had a mess of stuff that was going on. Poor Hunter Biden went into it. I mean, all of that other kind of aggressive energy was also happening because Gemini, while it is social and talking and communications, it's also duplicates of things. So there was a lot of things and everything was kind of multiplied. So the karma from Saturn would have been not quite as interactive with the Mars and Pluto. And it would have been interactive with the moon, but only like right after the actual new moon. And it wouldn't have lasted very long. Any of the lunations, the energy doesn't last a super long time. So is Saturn a karmic thing? Well, maybe for you, Adub, maybe it's a part of your chart. I don't know. I haven't done your chart. And certainly for many people. Now, another thing about Saturn, it's in the last sign. It's in Pisces. And that's where people get the karmic feel of it, that you're burning karmic ribbons. You're wrapping up some karmic debts. And so people who have any sort of sensitive points in the sign of Pisces, I do, maybe you're coming up to wrap up some karmic debts. So that may have been where those astrologers were getting that interpretation from. But I didn't get that. When I was going through the new moon stuff and analyzing it, it didn't jump out at me that that's what was going to be going on. But anyway, so that's what I have to say about that. Okay. All right, let's move on here. Okay. So I wanted to talk about the Trump VP picks. Now, personally, I think this is hilarious because I don't think he's ever going to pick a VP. That's just kind of my general feel about things. But we have all these people who wanted to be VPs, which there was the three women, Kristi Noem, Carrie Lake, MTG. None of them are at the top of the list. In fact, none of them were even contacted by the Trump team. And I am looking at all of my artist friends out in YouTube world, and I wish somebody would send me a meme of a three-headed dog with one of those women's faces on each of the dogs. That's what I want to see. Cerberus.
We'll have to get with Michelle Marie and see if she can create that for you. She's a digital artist.
Okay, that'd be great. The Cerberus, the three-headed dog, really came to my mind when I saw those three women's names because they're just so full of vitriol and they're so ready to fight somebody over Trump. They're just so aggressive. But the four that are really in the running, now let me find their names. It's Marco Rubio, JD Vance, Tim Scott, and Doug Burgum. Those are the top contenders. So do we want to do a little read and see if we can figure out like who it might be? If anybody? Is anybody going to be it? How about if Val and Cleo read on what the chances are for Burgum and, well, I'll just give each of you one. So Val, you do Burgum. Cleo, you do
Marco.
What?
Marco.
You want to do Marco? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you do Marco. Shari, you do JD Vance, and Gerald, you do who do I have left here? Who did I miss? Rubio, Vance. Oh, Tim Scott. And I'll just sit here and look.
I have right now. I have 11 questions starred.
Nice.
So the chat is bringing it. So we'll do
Thank
what we
you.
can.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I can tell you all a little bit about Marco Rubio. I wondered why when the verdict came out and all of a sudden little Marco is down there in Florida spewing all this stuff about how terrible the things are going in the United States and how could this possibly, and this is just a travesty that they've singled out Donald Trump and found him guilty, and it's just so ridiculous, and it just spewing on and on. Well, that's before I knew that he was up for possible VP. You know, because Trump could totally control him. He already has. They've already, you know, if you go back in time to 2016, how did Marco feel about how did Marco feel about Trump then? Oh no, he didn't like him at all.
No.
But now that he might want to be VP, he totally likes him, and he just is. Well, they're all, you know, falling right in line and bolstering the lies, and you know, that they think that this is gonna be their thing. um you know, whether he will actually be the pick, I don't know. You know, I get so the energy on this is so goofy. I just get this jumbled mess because yeah, Trump is basically, he doesn't really want to pick anybody. So, but doesn't he have to pick somebody by July 15th when they do?
No. The GOP convention is July 15th. It's supposed to be a 3-day convention. I'll believe that when I see it. But it's traditional that they pick it after the convention, but in recent years they've been doing it sooner and then making a formal announcement at the convention after they are called and officially named candidate. But the thing is that traditionally you're supposed to wait till you're named the candidate before you pick a VP. But of course everybody, you know, has people in mind. So
But I think that Trump is going to kind of just leave it up in the air because he kind of likes holding that little carrot out because he's had complete control over all these people that want to be VP. And I just
Dictators don't need a VP.
exactly. Well, that's the way Trump's looking at it. So yeah, I don't. I guess it probably won't be coming up by then. So Trump is just, yeah, you know, he's such a control freak, but I just can't believe how these people, Tim Scott's one of them too, right? I can't believe how they're just falling all over each other. You know, they all met down in Mar-a-Lago about, well, way before the verdict. And then they're just totally backing him up. And every time they're directly asked a question about being VP, they just act like, oh, well, you know, whatever, you know, I'd be honored, but you know, whatever he wants, I'm not pushing for it. And you know, and what Trump's doing is just making promises to all kinds of people so that they can just go, whether it's for vice president or somebody in his cabinet or somebody working with him, you know, again, holding that little carrot out. And so we'll just have to wait and see. I just think that there is some strange things that are going to happen between now and the convention thing, as well as between now and the election time, that it's just it's things that we have never seen before and we never could have predicted because it's just so unusual and so out of character and just so out there. And I don't know. There's so many different things that it could be. I can't put my finger on it. I get all kinds of different things that could be happening. But as far as Marco Rubio, you know, I don't know. In the end, could he pick him? Possibly. He could pick any of those people because as long as he can manipulate them, that's fine. He'll pick somebody. Let's say he does finally pick somebody. They'll pick him, put him on the corner, and just never talk to him again.
Yeah. Okay.
There was a suggestion, Colleen, that you could do Don Jr.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God, that's so cute that you even think he's going to be alive to do something like that. Oh gosh. Okay, Shari, what do you got for us?
All right. Well, JD Vance, the lovely man.
I'm sorry.
The Hierophant. So he's gonna really push tradition, and that he's following the party plan, and he's their guy. He's gonna be just what Trump needs to keep him in line. Blah 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 blah. But he's also, then I pull the magician. So he's got a lot of a lot of work to do to wave that wand and make everything fall in line the way he thinks it needs to go, because he's almost as narcissistic as Trump is.
Mhm.
Except he's got a little bit more of a brain, makes him scarier. And then I ended up with a 5 of Wands. So it's just going to create more conflict, because if Trump decides to go with somebody else, then Vance is going to have himself a little hissy fit, I think, and
Ooh,
stir
interesting.
up some trouble. That's kind of what I'm getting
Interesting.
off of that. And if he picks him, then I would have to say that Mr. Trump needs to watch his back,
I would agree with that.
because JD Vance will be the first one to sink the knife in between the shoulder blades.
Oh, I was just going to say that old traditional GOP saying he would cut a bitch. You know?
That too. Yeah.
Hey, Kelly Ramsey says, I believe they are lining up to be president when Trump fails. So that might be the other reason why they're acting like they're acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that feels correct. I agree with Kelly.
Yeah. All right, Gerald, what do you have for us?
So Scott, disappointment, more disappointment, because he's I also got the Hierophant, but there is this desire of not wanting to follow those rules, or he's going to break all of the rules, which you can't do. But there's no real planning in what's going on to pick a vice president so far. Somebody in the chat said Trump picked Pence like 2 days before the Republican convention. So, but I did get the Three of Swords, and I think the Three of Swords, it's Three of Swords reversed. I think everybody's going to be backstabbing everybody. So.
Yeah. I think it's going to be like an Agatha Christie mystery novel.
Oh, I think so.
Right? It's all
I think so. Yeah.
Everybody's going to be
Y'all
like,
get your popcorn ready. It's
Yeah.
gonna be fun.
and Val, Cleo, did you have something to say?
Isn't Tim Scott a black man?
Yes.
So
Oh, you think a racist is going to pick him as VP?
No, we don't.
no, but he's not going to fit in and not do the
They
rules.
have to make appearances.
That's right. That's all the reason he's in the running is to let the black voters know, hey, look, he's considering a black guy.
Yep.
That's the one that Trump can point to and says, see my African American? I've got one of those.
Well, he's got two. He also has Ben Carson.
God.
Yeah.
So much
Okay.
wrong.
Oh,
with this.
that's right. I forgot about that. I'm dropping cards again.
All right. So, Val, have I saved the best for last? Lay it on me.
I don't know. It sounds similar to everything else. Listen, Doug Burgum
Yeah.
is really thinking he's I swear, here's the knight, here's the King of Swords thinking he's all that. And of course, from the deck of characters, he's represented as a knight. He's going to save the day. This is in his mind. And you notice the Page of Swords. Look at that guy's expression.
Yeah. Not happy.
Here's vomit to go along with it. Okay.
Wow.
Probably because he's going to have to clean it up.
That might tell you the real truth. Okay. So then something happening pretty fast. There's the graveyard. So it's not going to end the way he wants. He thought he was going to hone his craft and get at the top of his game, but he's going to be dust. So as I look at Trump picking a VP or, someone to run with him, it would be at the very, very end, like everyone has said. And if he did it all, if he even made it there, I do see him still on the ticket running. So whoever he picks, it will be the most underling of the underling who won't make any noise, just like Cleo mentioned. It's not something, he doesn't want any competitors. But
Right.
Yeah.
And especially the governor. That guy's a governor, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, he's not gonna
He's
want
not.
to see that he's that knowledgeable and that it'd be harder to
He
manipulate.
becomes dust.
That's why I thought Marco Rubio was
Yeah.
kind of a good pick, because he can just he can use him as a little puppet, and it'll work out well if that's what he wants.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. So here's kind of a follow-up question to that. So it's traditional that they do announce the VP at the convention, traditional, at least in like, I don't know, like the last 10 years. It's not, long standing tradition, but that they announce it at the convention. Will Mr. Trump be at the convention? Pendulums want to know.
Wait, what was the question?
Will Mr. Trump be at the convention?
We asked this question, and I don't know if it was on PoliTarology or one other show, but we asked this question, oh God, like last year.
And it said no, right?
It said no.
I'm getting a really big no.
Me too.
I feel
That's what I said last year. Go
I
ahead,
haven't
Val.
finished the cards, and I do feel that absence of him being there. How
As
is that
Gerald
possible?
said, you have to be breathing to be a president.
Oh my
as
God! My
Arthur
first
said.
card out.
Yeah.
I was thinking Arthur, and I was looking at Gerald, and that's the name that popped out of my mouth.
Now, I'm going to have some good follow-up questions with this. Now, here's my next question. Okay, so that convention is on the 15th. The sentencing is on the 11th. Will he be at the sentencing?
Oh,
Well, I think he has to be at the sentencing.
Yeah. Psychic. Huh?
No logically. Just
No
psychic.
logic. No left brain. No.
So what is the date we're asking for? I'm still getting a no.
July 11.
Oh God, you said the date and it went into a major no. Holy crap. That sucker's swinging, man. Wow. No. That's what I'm getting.
And you think to yourself, why is she asking these questions? Because she's psychic, no?
Yeah.
Why? So the big thing is why? You can answer for either one. Why won't he be at the sentencing, or why won't he be at the convention? Because they're 4 days apart. They might be different answers.
I think I didn't think he would be at the convention. I do think he will be at the trial or the
sentencing.
But he's actually going to need how do I say this? He's thinking the sentencing is his last ditch effort, which is going to prove he's just going to be shuffled around, and he's going to find out, he's going to really understand who his friends are and who his enemies are. So through that.
Well, is he even allowed to leave New York? I mean, technically, he's under house arrest right now. I mean, anybody else, they would be cooling their heels in the jail cell, not in their luxury apartment.
That's a good question.
Well, he's been traveling all over the place. He's
going all over with his campaign.
Yeah,
that's why I was just wondering. It was like I thought that
what
he had
would
to
happen on July 11th if they said, okay, you're going to spend 30 days in jail and you're going to pay a huge big fine, and that would be one way where he doesn't end up at the convention is if he has to spend time in jail. But everybody is not. The other attorneys and stuff are thinking that they probably won't do that because it is logistically just a complete hassle because of the Secret Service and all that. But since you guys are getting all these no, he's not going to be there. I'm thinking he might, he wouldn't have to show up to the convention because he could just come in by the internet and say, okay, thank you.
Exactly. True. So true. He really could come in on the internet and be on a big screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's had the Secret Service the whole time, ever since, January 20th, when he was no longer president.
Right.
So he's always had to contend with those conditions about his travel, which is his excuse for having a private plane. So he doesn't, ever have to go commercial again, right? So I
So
think
that's what they're saying, is that how can they put him in jail? Does the Secret Service all sit in the jail cell with them?
or outside the cell. They have done this. They have not done this exactly before, but they can make arrangements. He's not going
Okay.
into
If
jail.
they really want to punish him, they'll take away his phone and his internet and give him a dummy phone and make him just think he's tweeting to people who are watching and listening.
Yeah, they could do that, but
And
they'll do what they need to do to keep him under wraps.
Yes.
So he's not going to be in the general population. He's not going to be in a normal jail. He's not going to go to Rikers. He's going to go someplace special. Go ahead, Val. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I just, as you were talking, I just had to throw these up. He's going to be up the river for a little bit. Here's his heartache, and they're putting him in the hole. So I don't know if this is actually going to play out, but there are 50% possibility happening here that this will occur. Because this is how they see him, a weirdo with blood on his hands. He's
It's pretty accurate.
Wow.
you can't deny the deck of character. Yeah, exactly.
My cards look like transition.
That's why I got the Grim Reaper, Colleen.
Yeah,
Yep.
my cards look like transition, either by, what would you call this?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that doesn't look real promising.
Explosion of the brain, or
Yes.
somebody knifes him, one of the
Yes,
two. But I got
explosion.
everything. I got the 5 of Cups, I got the Tower, I got that thing, I got death, and then I got the Star.
death too. I got death too.
Oh,
The end result is this:
yeah,
after death. Come on, that's.
yeah.
I think he's really dancing too close to the sun. I think
He really is. He really is.
really not good. So I was reading on what would cause him not to be there July 11th, and those are the cards that I got. Now, were you guys reading about the convention or July 11th?
I read about what he, will he be at his sentencing? And that's when I got, he's up the river, brokenhearted in a hole.
Yeah. Did anybody read on the convention?
I didn't.
No, we all did the sentencing. Yeah, I think that's going to preclude anything else.
Damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is fun. So
I don't want to bring this up, but I will, because I can't help it, because it's in my mind. But did you see the foam at the corner of his?
What is up with that?
I mean, there's something. What is up with that? That is not normal bodily.
I saw a headline, but I didn't get a chance to watch the clip.
Oh,
and
I did this morning, and it was Jimmy Kimmel Live, everyone, if you want to Google.
And also Midas Touch showed it too.
Midas Touch showed it. So, yeah, you can't
He's
unsee
foaming at the mouth.
Yeah, he's got foam coming out of the corner of his mouth.
I mean,
and he just keeps talking.
Yes.
And he's talking kind of gibberish. Like he's not really making sense.
I'm really feeling like he's gonna have a brain implosion.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. An explosion in his brain of some kind, an aneurysm or a stroke. That's
and Rose Blue's saying
both.
dehydration and congestive heart failure can cause that to happen.
And he doesn't drink water, as far as I've never seen him drink water. All he ever drinks are Diet Coke.
Oh, no, he drinks water, and he takes the little bottle and goes.
That's right.
But just recently, he had some sort of a rally where it was very, very hot, and somebody in the crowd was passing out, and they needed to give them water. And people were saying, Get water, get water. Somebody hands Trump a bottle of water to pass down into the audience,
And he drank it.
and he drank it himself. He's totally oblivious to, I mean, he might have done that when he was not oblivious. He's such a narcissist.
There's only him in the room. It's only him, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's
Wow.
the only one who exists.
Jeez.
So there were a couple of questions in the chat about the gag order.
Okay.
Is that something that you want to look at?
Yeah,
now?
let's look at that.
So,
So which one do you want to do? I'll unstar the AW because we did that.
this
Halo-
is
go ahead.
down there. Does the gag order stay in place? Does the gag order get enforced? It's all the way down at the bottom.
Yeah, I can answer that. I mean, I don't think we have to read on it. Yes, it
Right.
does. It is still in force. And even after the sentencing, it'll still be in force because these people's lives are still in danger. And Michael Cohen's already been doxxed. His whole family has been doxxed. They are now, it's a whole new surge of getting people coming to their door and to the building and sending, unpaid for food orders. And there's all sorts of harassment going on for him. And
Wow.
it's
And
against
I heard-
violating the gag order.
I heard something yesterday about, or not yesterday, but the other day, and I think it was Kamala Harris. She was on Kimmel, and I think it was her talking about it, that she and Joe were looking at stricter regulations for people that are doing the doxing for
Good.
for whatever reasons, that there's going to be harsher
Good.
punishments on that.
Yeah.
And a means of trying to be able to trace it back to where it came from. So
Mhm. I think that's good. I think people should be held accountable for that. I mean, if somebody's calling in a food order, certainly you can contact the restaurant and say, "What's the goddamn phone number? We're going to go arrest
Exactly.
this person."
But it's
Right.
it's not just Cohen and his family. It's all of them.
I know.
It's the judge. It's the people working at the court. It's the
Yeah.
jury.
Yeah, but remember
Addresses.
the judge didn't include himself in the gag order, but everybody else is included, and Trump has definitely violated it. Definitely.
Mhm.
So, and it's still in place, and I don't think they're ever going to lift it because it's
and if he's violating it, his sycophants are.
yeah. And I think that all of that is going to be considered in his sentencing, or they'll have a separate event to just sentence him and punish him for violating the gag order. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking at
I wish they could just really put a gag on him and
literally
with
like
a chain,
like a ball gag and just make
like
it
a ball gag with a chain and a padlock, and he can slip a
his
little
own-
straw in through
and
the
his own-
side to get something to drink.
and his own personal dominatrix to just swat him one when he
Right.
tries
The only threats that are happening to these people is not they're trying to act like it's Trump's gag order has nothing to do with that, and Trump's not actually doing it. It's his little.
It's his
little
minions.
But the gag order specifically said or causing someone to do it.
Well,
Mm.
he'll just say he didn't. Just like he said about Hillary
He
Clinton.
can say that all he wants, but they have verifiable evidence that in the past he has caused people to do things, and if all they have to do is see a tweet or a comment or a statement at a rally,
Or
and
see their House representatives or their senators show up in the courthouse all dressed identical in their little blue suits and overly long red ties, and they go out and start talking. I mean, they don't even show up for their committee hearings.
It's
They have
too
to hold
late
committee
to try to
hearings at night because they're going to New York in the day.
It's too late to try to stop them. The word is out there. The addresses are out there. The names are out there. And these people are scared to death.
yeah, they are.
I don't blame them. I would be too.
Yeah, it's really.
I don't have any political stickers on my car or around my house or anything. I mean, technically I'm not supposed to because I'm civil service. We're supposed to be neutral, but there's a lot of civil servants I can drive by their house and see big old Trump signs all over the damn place.
Yeah.
But if I was to put up a Biden sign, you know, I would see damage to our vehicles or damage to the stuff on our porch or something.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Last time I had a Bernie sign on my yard, and but this time I don't think it's safe.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
I don't think it's safe anymore to do. Okay, so Bern O'Malley wants to know, dare I ask, is Trump going to jail? Please, please, please.
Well, my response to this question has been not this year.
I get a yes, but I don't get a
got a
time.
no.
We don't know when that is, though. If it's this year or next year.
2024.
I don't think before the election that they will actually put him in jail.
Trump going to jail in 2020.
But after the election, hey, it's and he doesn't get it, he'll go directly to jail.
All right, I'm asking, will Trump go to jail in 2024? And it went into circles, so that's big maybes.
Yeah.
So that energy is not settled yet.
And I have him flying away to save himself. Then he ends up in the big meadow in the sky.
Yeah, I get big fleeing energy from him too.
Fleeing on the plane.
Yeah.
I got a no, but I got it with the 8 of Cups.
Oh,
Because it's you know, and in this is you know, it's cutting the hair, cutting the losses, and moving on. So, but you know, the answer is no. But I was just focused on this year. So, but there's a lot of people going to be ganging up on him. The 3 of Cups with the Hierophant, 4 of Cups with the Hanged Man.
Hey, Sherry, were you actually going to cook something from that chicken or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you cooking with the chicken, Sherry? But I also got the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. The money is going to bring him down. Money is going to totally bring him down. Again.
I think it has. I think it already has. I think he's so broke. So, it just went out of my head. Okay, I'll just go on to the next question. Did everybody answer about jail?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, let's see.
Guess y'all know I'm cooking chicken for dinner. My brother said, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were on.
Look at this one. I know time is hard to tell, but do you get a time frame when Jack Smith will start indicting?
Oh.
Well, it's based on when the Supreme Court rules on this total immunity thing for Trump. And that's the big holdup. Otherwise, he would be doing a lot of stuff right now. But he is also in a battle right now, head to head with Aileen Cannon, and it's just getting to the point where it's about time he gets involved with her. And if he could do, but everything's just held up because of this, because of the Supreme Court. It's just ridiculous.
I had a 3 of Wands jump out, so that could be 3 months. Let me see if anything else comes up.
Well, didn't somebody say that the Supreme Court is supposed to come up with some kind of decision at the end of June or the end of July?
Yeah, they usually end for the summer session. They usually end at the end of June. So anything that they're going to decide this session has to be done before the end of June. And I believe they go back in October.
Must be nice.
So they could still leave this up in the air and not make a decision by the end of June.
Of course they could.
Yeah.
That's a technique.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you know what?
Pull the moon.
I get he's still, here's a crystal. He's still gazing out there, grabbing people with this big magnet. I mean, he's not done doing the back exploration of all these people he's going to indict. There's a lot. Here he is, 10 of Cups. 10 months? I don't know. But 10 of Cups, sitting pretty. 9 of Cups. And what do you have next? The Death card. So it's probably going to be 10 months or so.
I think sooner. I think sooner. I did the pendulum twice because I just didn't believe it. And both I asked, is Jack Smith going to be indicting more people in July?
Yes.
Both
Yes.
times. Swinging like
magnet crystal.
July.
He's gazing, seeing all of them out there, and bringing them in.
Maybe he decides he just doesn't want to wait on Trump. He just wants to get moving forward.
He's not just sitting there behind his desk. There's so much going on.
I mean, this is a person who has got so many irons in the fire. He is spinning plates very skillfully. Very skillfully.
I mean, he's yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I've got the World, which is really important. I have the Queen of Cups with the Two of Swords. He's really figuring out, okay, what am I going to do now that I can that's going to help build things up? So
he's a Gemini. He just had a birthday 2 days ago. That means he's got 5 planets in his first house right now. So this man is strong.
Yep.
Strong. Right now.
Yeah, I had like I said, I had the 3 of Wands jump out. So I'm thinking maybe 3 months. But then I had the moon jump out. And I'm thinking with this that he's already doing stuff.
Well, that's
setting things up
in
to
July.
take that next step. Yeah.
I think he's going to go ahead without worrying about whether Trump's going forward or not. What do we all think is going to happen with this nonsense with Aileen Cannon? There was a question in here somewhere. She just put out all those ridiculous,
paperless orders.
Yeah, paperless orders, but scheduling hearings. She's scheduling a hearing about whether, on 2 different issues, about whether Jack Smith is a viable special prosecutor, if that's lawful. 2 different things. I mean, what in the world?
The talking heads say that's a nonsense kind of junk thing that should be thrown out, that isn't even a judge. It doesn't have any legal standing and doesn't have any judicial ground to stand on any of the things that she's been doing.
So do we think that perhaps they're going to call her on the carpet for it? Is the 11th Circuit going to say, oh, nay, Ms. Cannon, you cannot do these hearings. Thou art wasting time. Go ahead.
Are you talking Cece's question?
Well, well, we can read on that, but I'm thinking that I don't think she's going to get to this point of dismissing cases. I think they may slam her down before she can have those hearings. That's what I'm thinking, but we could certainly read on that.
Well, I would hope that it would go that way because I know that Karen's got this dismissing thing. She's had it in her mind from the beginning.
Day one. Yep. Okay, so we're reading on Cece's question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it says it right here. She's going to be in the dumpster. Period.
Yeah.
End of subject.
Yep. Oh, yep. Not good for her. Not good. She just wants to be famous, and she wants to be known as, the most powerful person in the land, but it is just not happening, man.
Not at all.
Not happening. And her wheel of fortune is turning upside down. So I don't care what she's planned. It's not happening.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead, Val.
No, I already said it. Dumpster. I just held it up because it's not going to happen.
Just to remind
I'm
everybody.
emphasizing this is the period at the end of Colleen's reading.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I got war and vomit. So take your pick how you want to take that one.
That
I got ghost and demon.
Ghost and demon.
And then I got an airplane and an island.
Because you know what? I got the same thing, Shari. I got Fight Club, but they're going to find out about money she's been getting. There's something about underhanded money crossing hands that's going to come out.
Yeah.
And Val, that makes sense because I got that all of her past will show up and be revealed.
And I'm getting cold chills up and down. Yes, Gerald.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got, no, she's not going to be able to do that because all of her past is going to show up. They're going to, she's going to, all of the commitments that she made and the agreements are going to be just burned. So it's just going to be shown exactly what she has done.
Right.
And you know what crosses my mind is this becomes the foreshadowing for what's going to happen to SCOTUS in 2025 and 2026. This is going to be a little roadmap for how to take a look at SCOTUS. And there could be connections between her money things and money things going to people who are on SCOTUS now. So I think this is going to be a watershed for this woman to be taken down in this way. Not only is it not just taking her off the case, taking her off the bench, but just completely saying you're horrible and we're stopping it. I don't know if she'll go to jail or not over it, but they're going to stop all of that stuff. But I think it's going to foreshadow what happens to
the Supreme Court, SCOTUS. It was just rushing through my body going, SCOTUS.
The minute you said that, I got the cold chills.
Right?
Cold chills are coming down my body so
good. You're welcome. You're all welcome.
I love it.
This is so fun.
Well, you know that all these people that were testifying probably for Trump, they've all ended up with cushy jobs, big benefits, big gifts of money, lots of money going on there. So when you guys were talking about all these judges, I thought, well, that fits right in with all these other people. And it also fits in with why they're doing what they're doing. Nothing. Because they've been paid off. Oh, I mean, if that kind of thing came out.
Yeah, and I like what you just said, Cleo, because I don't know that we'll even know about this. Her underhanded payments and dealings, because they may just say, you better recuse yourself or whatever. And
but I think it goes right up to the Supreme Court too, about the guy that what's his name, Alito.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, turning the flag upside down and being a big supporter of the insurrection, and then trying to act like he wasn't. But yeah, I think
Such a big man. He blamed his wife for that.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and he blames his wife for that. But it almost sounds like these other people that were getting payments and money and cushy jobs and all this stuff, it sounds to me like this might be why Trump tries to act so confident about the lies that he's spewing, that he gets away with it because he has bought off so many people. He controls them.
Yes, this is what he's done. A lot of people keep wondering why Walt Nauta is so loyal to Mr. Trump. Walt Nauta is a millionaire because of Mr. Trump. His net worth is something like $43 million. And he's
when it started out talking about him, they said 8 million. But is he the guy that's still in jail?
No, he's the
Who's
guy
the
he's the guy who's still getting Trump his cokes and dressing him and all of that stuff, and
Okay.
gonna go to jail for him too. Just
Yeah.
like Weisselberg, he's gonna go to jail for him because he's got such a cushy deal. He's quite wealthy because of Mr. Trump.
It's funny that he got money from Trump, but Trump can't handle money.
No, he can't. But what he did is he made Walt Nauta he gave him a title on one or maybe two of his super PACs.
Mm.
That's how he's pulling, and he just pulls a salary from it. I don't know if he does anything for it, but over the years he has become a millionaire. And he's still working for Trump, keeping his secrets, moving his boxes, doing whatever he needs him to do. Okay.
I think it's more than just money. I think it's also some of these people that they're remaining loyal because there is stuff on them that they know if they step out of line, it's going to come to light and it's going to be worse.
Like any good mob boss, right?
Yeah. Well, it's the narcissist tale, that they will do actual things for you. They will give you material things, but they also are manipulating you all the time with shame and embarrassment, with blackmail, emotional blackmail to be sure, but yeah, all the time. You're right, Shari, all the time that he's pulling that. So people like to say that he learned that from Putin. I think he was already doing that.
Yeah, he learned that from his
dad. His dad
learned it from his dad.
Fred
Right.
Tripp taught him well and used to do that constantly. And he had he worked with the mob. And he got the inside scoop on how to do everything.
And the mob worked a lot like the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah.
Same kind of modus operandi. We're all together. You can't go against any of us. You made that promise. You're never getting out. You're bonded to us for life. So, yeah. Oh, let's change the subject just a tiny little bit. Let's go to Fox here. Will there be licensing for news stations in the future so that Fox and others like them will be identified as entertainment and real news identified as fact-checked news? Oh, well, let's read on that.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I do too. Because Fox is so busy perpetrating, is that the word? Bringing up all the lies and making it, giving it life is through Fox News. And every time I accidentally turn to that station, I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Sorry, the Jeopardy music will start in a minute. Thank you, Shari.
That's about the extent of my musical abilities for y'all. And that was probably flat as hell. So.
I don't think so, or not exactly like that. As it's, it's going to identify entertainment only or real fact-check news. I think what's going to happen is they've got to figure out how are they going to do that? What is fact-checked news and what is entertainment? It will, it's interesting because I have the Four of Pentacles and the Hierophant. They're going to be holding on to things as long as they can while these new rules are being made up. They're going to be trying to make sure that they're going to how do I say this? That they're going to be safe whichever way it falls. So, I
20. That's the same thing I got, Gerald, is that they're really going to play it as far as they can go, not really shifting much of what they do. Really, it's a gift of what's going on, and they're still not finding their true north. the love potion's still out there for whoever they want to decide to put on top in terms of political stuff. But they're really ghosting themselves. It took all these cards to get to the big tornado. They are going to have to use surgical precision. But you know what? They end up becoming not very popular. And here's dust. They have a lot of guts to put that kind of stuff out there. And Five of Pentacles, death. So whatever's going to happen, I think they'll just play it till it plays out. I don't really feel like they're going to want to repackage what they do.
No.
Mm-mm. They think that they're going to be able to shuffle things around, that they're going to hide in the forest.
Right.
You won't see the trees for the forest. But I think there's enough people out there that maybe they might be able to get a fire burning, smoke them out, find out. Eventually they're going to be exposed, just like the naked man. There's going to have to be some kind of accounting in some kind of way of being able to know that whatever you're listening to on news is actual factual news and not just somebody making crap up and spitting it out of their mouth. I mean,
I love that. And Jo just said AI could instantaneously verify faux news, and color-coded crawlers could be indicating the level of truth or falsification, flashing fire engine red when lying their damn faces off.
Yeah.
I would pop popcorn for.
Make it a freaking kindergarten level game with flashing lights and sirens and
So
when they tell a lie, everything goes off.
Right. Say, Shari, you have a program on your PC or on your iPhone or whatever, and you're playing news through it, and it does that for you. I wouldn't want that. Who would
I'm not so sure about the news things like Fox. I don't, they seem to be able to get away with that. Just like the Enquirer, they can get away with saying whatever they want to say. But some of these politicians that have been going along with this whole thing about the trial being rigged and that the country's going down, that we're not going to have a country and all that. I think those people are it's going to come back to bite them in the ass, and that there's going to be some prosecutors going out there and saying, wait a minute, we should kind of hold these people liable for lying to the American public.
Yes.
Well, that's inciting a riot, isn't it? It's incitement, or it's really detrimental to the population.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have freedom of speech, but we don't have the freedom to walk into a crowded theater and yell fire.
Well, if you're going to do an editorial,
Well,
you need to say, this is an editorial, it's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. So the government used to subsidize news outlets, right? Because it was the fourth estate, and they wanted to have the news, what does Rachel Maddow say? Free of fear or favor, right? And that ended, and the dollar drives a lot of the viewing, because they need commercials and they need to get a lot of viewers so that the commercials pay off for the advertisers, etc. So I'm looking more at the long game here. So in the immediate future, what's going to happen is, I don't know if you guys saw, but Brett, what's his name from Fox? Is it Brett Baer? Yeah, Brett Baer from Fox did an interview on Trump immediately following the verdict. And it was not easy on Trump. He held his feet to the fire. And, the Fox people didn't make a huge deal out of it, but the other news outlets did. because they were saying, well, what's going on with Fox? And Midas Touch surmises that Fox is pissed off at Trump because of the Dominion lawsuit because it cost them so much money. What I see happening is that Fox is going along, and that is the game that they're playing. They're not going to totally obviously support Trump or not support Trump. They're going to play it down the middle for a while. But they've still got Sean Hannity and what's his name, Waters, that is taking over Bill O'Reilly's seat.
Jesse. Jesse Waters.
Jesse Waters, yeah. Those people and people like them at the channel who are still beating the drum for Trump and beating the drum for MAGA, this is going to cost Fox money, because what's going to happen is they're going to get hit with an even bigger lawsuit. And if they're going to lose it, they're going to lose that suit, and that's going to cost them even more money. And at that point, I think the management of Fox, because it had been, sort of predicted years ago that when Rupert's son took over, he would change the face of Fox, and he's going to do that. I don't know if he's looking at selling off pieces of it or whatever, but he is going to change the face of Fox because it can't keep doing lawsuits. That just doesn't work. So until the government catches up and starts doing the subsidy thing again, they're going to have some big, big, big lawsuits. And this is when, is it Lachlan, the one that's running it now? Rupert?
I think so.
I think so.
He's the one who's going to finally go, I know my dad wanted me to hang on to this way, but this is not a money-making enterprise this way. So he's going to have a come to Jesus moment and realize that he can't sell, this garbage to the American people anymore and make a living. So they're going to police.
That's how Rupert Murdoch got Fox grown so fast and so coveted to be, because when he first started pushing it, he was giving it out to the cable companies and was losing money hand over fist.
Right, with Robert Ailes.
5-6 years.
Robert Ailes. Yeah.
Robert Ailes. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I mean, he was losing money hand over fist, but he got everybody used to watching it. You couldn't go into a doctor's office or a bank without seeing Fox News on the freaking TV screens that they would have set up in their lobbies. You
almost can't now either. But so once they go through that come to Jesus and they lose almost all their money, they're going to lose almost everything. They will have to, tighten things in because they just won't have the money to do very, very much. And I think that they're going to have a few women at the top of the organization who are going to have a thing or two to say about how they should run things if they want to appeal to the masses. And I think that's really going to be a big change. And that in itself is going to sort of bring a lot of justice because it's also going to scare the major media outlets as well. Because Fox is big, they're pretty big. And if they have that kind of come to Jesus moment, you better believe that ABC, NBC, MSNBC, they're all going to sit up and take notice. And that in itself begins to police the industry. And at that point, then I think actual legislation can take place. Because until that point, you will always have the media lobbyists pushing the lawmakers, the legislators, to keep it status quo. It won't be able to change until one of them changes and it becomes okay. So that's my prediction. And I don't know how long this will take, but you'll know when it's happening because Fox will be almost bankrupt when it happens. That's kind of a long range. That's not like tomorrow. Okay. So we good? We're 109. Are you guys good to do a couple more, or you got to go, or somebody's got to go feed the dog?
Good.
No, I'm good.
A couple more.
Okay. The dogs can starve. It's fine. Okay.
The dog can wait. They've been eating all day.
Yeah, right. My cats have been eating all day. So which one do we want to read about? Do we want to read about the influence campaign on the part of Israeli? What are they? Lawmakers? Israel. It says Israel secretly targets U.S. lawmakers with influence campaign on Gaza war. Or do we want to talk about little Mikey Johnson? You guys pick.
What's the question about Mikey Johnson?
Oh, you like Mikey Johnson. Okay.
I do.
Okay. So Lil Mike or Mikey, as because we're on a
Moses
first
Mike.
basis. Yeah. Well, he's moving away from that because he's all the people in the Bible. He's
That's a
all
lot
of
of
them.
responsibility.
Well, you know,
Y'all forgive me. That man is from my state, and I don't know where he came from or how he came about, but God almighty, he's an embarrassment.
well, there's a big
I
pile of
mean-
rocks near the banks of the Mississippi. I think he came from there. All right. So Johnson names Trump allies to intelligence panel, prompting concerns. Representative Scott Perry of Pennsylvania and Ronnie Jackson of Texas are close allies to the former president. Speaker Mike Johnson's appointed these two outspoken, hard-right allies with major ethical and legal issues to the House Intelligence Committee, prompting criticism from members of both parties. So, what will happen to Mikey Johnson as a result of this? And will these two bozos stay on the committee? Because somebody has the means to take them off. Remember what they did with Marge? They took her off of everything. So they do have that ability to take people off the committees. But I want to know also how it's going to affect Mikey, because we're so close. I'm just concerned about him.
Yeah, and I felt like this answer coming in saying that this is like the first of three things that are going to happen, and then it'll be the Speaker of the House coming in. So here's the self. This is him. He's the second coming of everything. Here's the sunken ship, and he puts his own fuel on his predicaments. That's how he rocks. He can't help himself. He's biblical. So
he lights his own bush. Is
he
that what
lights his own burning bush, and he gets in the middle of the burning bush and lets it blow up in flames.
with it?
It's like,
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
but listen, it is entertainment purposes only, though. Hakeem will be the speaker within 3 months of his 1, 2, 3. This was the first, and there are 2 more coming that he's going to do incidents like this that are going to he's going to take himself out by this kind of behavior. And Hakeem will come in, and the other side will think he's a good choice.
I have always gotten that when this happens, the whole
They're going to be so thankful.
The Senate will be sending fruit baskets.
Yep.
I mean, they are going to be thrilled with this.
But that was a psychic hit as well as but anyway. So
I got house under construction. Quite literally.
Very apropos.
And little Mikey's gonna have a broken heart, I'm afraid. Oh. But this is his ultimate destination, Grim Reaper.
Oh, God.
And then they'll send him back down here to us, and we'll have to put up with him for God knows how long.
He is isolating himself, and he's going to be dancing with the devil. I got the devil reversed. So this isn't a way of enlightenment. This is a way of continuing to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And maybe there will be a burning bush because of that. Who knows? But
his wife would probably provide it.
I do see that there is going to be someone who is going to make a lot of people happy when he dances with the devil. So
yeah, because when Mr. Jeffrey shows up, it's going to be wonder and anticipating of awesomeness.
I know.
That's my divine dog deck. I love that deck.
I know. Well, I got that. Right now, the Democrats in particular are really beginning their plan. They've had a plan, so a few different plans about how to handle this, because they knew from the beginning with Johnson, they controlled the Speaker of the House. They controlled what happened there. And as we've seen, they absolutely do. So it's their choice when they keep him or let him go. And they're going to take their time. As much as I want it to happen next week, it's not going to happen next week. I think Val is right. It's going to take a few months. And once they do bring in Mr. Jeffries, everybody's going to be happy. It's going to be like
every time I think about it.
It's going to be like everybody's on a first date. They just can't believe it, because for 2 years, there's been no lawmaking. And so for them, it's going to be like fun. It's going to be like, oh, did you see that bill I wrote? Yeah, and it's going to pass next week. And it's like
we get to do our jobs.
Yeah.
Because there are people who want to do their jobs.
Yeah.
And we get to shut up the ones that don't want to do their jobs.
And I wouldn't be surprised if something like the immigration bill gets brought back and passes before the election. I wouldn't be surprised if 1 or 2 large pieces of legislation come up and get passed under Jeffries before. I just think he's going to, because I got the chariot here. Once he gets power, he's just going to be like, can you guys just bring my notebooks back for 2023 and the beginning of 2024? We're going to go through all those bills and we're going to resubmit them. They're going to do it. They're going to do so much. And I think that's also going to give a huge boost to Biden. It's going to give a huge boost for voters, for the country, for hope, for people feeling like we can make a difference. I just think emotionally, it's going to be a big lift for the country to have that happen, because right now it's such a downer.
I actually feel like it'll be healing for the GOP, just sitting there in the House and Senate seeing things go through. They're going to go, oh, this is what it feels like to actually work and get work done.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, and the Senate Democrats the Senate Democrats pulled a coup d'etat this week that was purely just beautiful in all aspects by getting that bill put up on contraception. Now, they didn't win that bill, but that wasn't their goal. They knew that they did not have the votes for it. What they did was they got all the Republicans on record voting against contraception, wanting to make it wanting to make it illegal. And now everybody goes out campaigning and saying, well, you realize that Senator so blah blah, they voted against you having a right to have contraception. They're not even talking abortion at this point, because that's a powder keg, But you start telling people they can't have contraception.
That's just
they can't take a birth control pill. They can't go to the drugstore and buy a condom. Oh yeah, you're going to get some people real upset real fast.
That's just
and more so on the far right than you will even on the left, because the right, as we all know, is constantly screwing around on everybody else. I mean, they're whatever bathroom they can get into.
I feel like after the GOP convention, there's something happening at this convention. I mean, we're all focused on that they're supposed to bring Trump in, but there's other activities around that convention that makes a lot of people at the convention rethink about what they're doing. And then all the stuff that Colleen and Val were talking about, I see that kind of things begin to move in August.
Yeah.
And you're going to see some big changes. But Mike Johnson, the stuff he's trying to also back up the Trump lie, where the country's going and stuff. But big mistake for him to ever get involved that way. So something at that convention changes things, and you'll see a direct result of that in August.
Do you think that at the convention, whether or not, I don't think Trump will be there. And I gotta say, 18 months ago, we said this. We said Trump's not even gonna make it to the convention.
Yeah.
Go back and look at our videos. That's what we said.
I think we even said if he's there, he'll appear on a video from.
Yeah.
Yeah, we even said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm wondering now is, will the convention be safe, or will there be maybe some danger there?
Oh, hadn't thought of that.
Oh, that's something different.
Well, I also I agree with what Cleo said. There's probably a lot of underhanded other things going on with some of this 2025 stuff, and I think we have to keep in mind the long game. The long game. So.
And the Republicans are very, very good at playing the long game.
Right. But this is why the Democrats are not announcing that they are actually running the House, because they realize that the Republicans are dangerous.
Yeah.
And they don't want any more reaction to their plans than the Republicans are already.
Well, the Democrats are working in reality. The Republicans are working in a fantasy of lies. So there's, to try to bring those two together is impossible. You cannot.
They don't want to bring them together. They just want to protect themselves and their plans.
The Republicans?
The Democrats, they don't want to be hurt, and they don't want their plans blown up. So they don't want to tell the Republicans what they're really doing, at least in the House. And look at what they did in the Senate, as Shari pointed out. Yeah.
No, that's true. They're going to let the Republicans go ahead and shoot themselves in the foot, and let them just, because they're continually screwing up. They don't even have to. They don't even have to do anything. They don't even have to try to get them to screw up, because they're screwing up over and over and over again. But mainly it's this thing about this constant lies, and that everything is based on a lie. It just does not work out. So yeah, I agree, Colleen. Yeah.
I swear, I just got this hit that Lara Trump at the GOP RNC is going to make people look at things in a different way and regret everything. Here is a big spatula. Here is the world. There's some glasses that fell out. Things are going to be looked at a little different way, no matter how poetic she is about everything. This is her as a love goddess, as a wild woman. The rhetoric and stuff coming out of her mouth about the far right kind of Handmaid's Tale kind of thing. It's so big a leap when she puts it out there. The way she does it is going this leap. And the reason why she's going to be up there saying things is because Trump will not be there. He'll be doing it from video. Her fire-breathing comments, she can't repair anything from it. Nobody can repair it. It's just going to flow, and they're going to be stagnant. Here's the plateau they're going to hit as a GOP. And I keep getting the chills. My final card is the plane. This is Trump. I got the hit of Lara standing on stage. And what the rhetoric she is spewing sounds so Hitlerish that it turns people's stomachs. We'll see if that happens.
Well, and I'm wondering if we'll even get to hear about it.
Oh no, we will. It's all going to be.
I don't know. I don't know. I
think?
think there's some things going on in that conference that's just going to be very like, we better not let this out, because it's going to be so weird and so.
There's
out
probably
there.
a lot of those things. Yeah.
Well, they learned after Katie Britt's response to the State of the Union address.
Yes.
That,
Yes.
nobody wants to see the Handmaid's Tale up close and personal.
Very true.
I didn't get super dangerous cards, but I did get a lot of secrets, and a woman being really front and center with stuff. But I got a high priestess too, so a lot of secrets, a lot of power going on. But I also got the Judgment card, so I think that yeah, they're really going to be showing their butts for what they really are. And it isn't what they think. It's really going to be kind of like there's going to be
Nazi-esque.
yeah. And I do think whether or not there is actual physical danger planned, which might not be planned, but it might happen anyway. But I think a lot of more middle of the road Republicans who are going for whatever reason, I just think they're going to turn away. In fact, maybe they won't go at all, because what I had thought originally is that they're not going to need the venue for 3 days, because I only think it's going to go for 1 day, and I think it's going to be kind of a
I
disaster.
don't think they'll have enough money for it to go.
I see it only one day too. Yeah, one day.
Because they don't have any money, right? The RNC, and that's what I said too earlier. I agree with you, Shari, 100%, because they don't have any money. All the money's supposed to go to Trump. So I don't know if Laura's paying this out of her own pocket or what, but without that big 3-day thing going on, without Trump there, and then you layer on it her and her Handmaid's Tale speech, I mean, I think that in itself may make it feel dangerous for the people who are there. Because that's why I asked the question, because I was feeling like there's some danger there.
Well, I think they put all their eggs in one basket, and they've only got Trump to be their nominee. And people are getting pissed off. They have no backup plan.
Right.
So when things don't work out and Trump comes on the big screen and says, "Yes, I feel so honored. Thank you very much. I'll run for president for you. I'll be your president."
Yeah.
Right.
They're disillusioned. And there is some other people, and I don't know that this has directly to do with the convention, but there is other Republicans that are feeling so angry and blindsided because they bought into this whole thing, and now they know from what happened in the trial in New York that they have been basing everything on a lie, and the Republican Party is becoming unhinged anyway, that they do have to be concerned about some people that are going to be threatening about this, saying, what are we doing? You're putting up somebody that can't possibly win. Yeah, states are saying that he can't be on the ballot because of these. Well, I don't know about on the ballot, but you can't vote for him because he's a criminal, a felon. And so everybody, they're trying to ignore.
He can't even vote for himself.
Yeah, he can't even vote for himself. And so, no, there is people are getting really upset because they're like, we put all this money into it and we thought we could do this. And now that you've come up with somebody that's got 34 felony convictions, the whole thing looks totally different. As much as the other guys try to act like, oh no, and this was just a terrible thing that they did. It was a big mistake. We'll appeal and it'll get overturned. Good luck. There's not enough time to do all those things. Yeah, the GOP people are just absolutely freaked out about what are they going to do.
And you know what else? Kimberly Guilfoyle's name keeps coming up. Here's the upside down rainbow. Here's the demon, and here's the graveyard. Because I keep seeing her on stage too, being the main presence, one of the main presents. Lara will do her thing because she's thinks she's the queen of everything, but she's not as powerful as the voice of Kimberly Guilfoyle that will freak people out.
Do you remember her last time?
And that's just going to send people through the upside down rainbow, demon, and graveyard.
You know what?
Both she and Laura think that they're poets.
Circus.
But a good look in the mirror, and they're gonna notice that they're both wild women.
That's why I got 2 women cards: the wild women.
Yeah.
And okay.
They're gonna be amazed because they think that they are the resurrection, and that's exactly what they need. But they're just blowing smoke up everybody's ass is what they're doing.
Oh gosh, I have so much to say about the women. But before I say that, I wonder I wonder if they would just like bar the doors and not let people leave.
Yes, because they're going to want to leave.
They're
And
going to
they
want
don't-
to leave.
And they don't want the camera to pan down and see empty spots in the
seats,
middle of the
yeah.
floor.
I wonder.
Yeah,
that crossed
buddy.
my mind when you guys were
But
talking.
if they go locking those doors, fire marshal could put them all in jail. That's against the law.
The fire marshal
Yeah.
will be threatened and berated, and his family will be threatened. He's already going to be paid off anyway. I mean, they're not going to bother with that.
Is this something that the whole thing will be televised?
Well,
The whole thing's
usually
always
most of the
televised.
major highlights are televised, not the
Yeah.
whole thing,
Or
because
not
there's
the
a
whole
lot
thing.
of stupid stuff that they take care of. But
Something
at the convention, they're supposed to vote and officialize or whatever their platform for the party. Now, they haven't done that in the last 2 Republican conventions. They haven't had a platform. Or maybe in 2016, they had a platform that was just go with what Vladimir Putin says. I mean, it was really bad. Don't you remember Paul Manafort getting up and saying that we're gonna do something against Ukraine or whatever, and everybody was looking around like, what does that have to do with our platform?
Yeah.
But
I have to say, when I look now and I see the whole entire convention and everybody's sitting there and they're standing there waiting for Trump, they won't even realize he's not going to come.
Yeah, they're going to lie.
And they're going to be so not jazzed up. Let's just say that it'll be such a letdown, like an anticlimactic thing. And then the women saying that blah, 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 stuff, it'll just, they cannot come back from all of that. That is going to leave them so far down a rabbit hole. They're going to rethink a lot of things. I don't know if they'll.
And you get Laura and Gargoyle on the stage together.
She's going to freak people out. Oh my God.
People are going to be tripping.
Here's these 2 women, probably in their mid-40s, with their Uranus opposition coming up. So they've got their Kundalini rising up their spine, and they're thinking they're all that. And it's their version of, I'm the divine feminine, but it's all twisted. It's all perverted. It's all in the service of the MAGA, which is completely the antithesis of what the divine feminine should be doing. So I can see the 2 of them being literally wild and trying to be goddesses and failing and scaring people, using their power in such a twisted way that it just scares everybody. And then I can also see Lara having some sort of a hand signal that she does that means, Walt, bar the doors.
Yes.
Walt won't have a job if Trump's in jail. Oh,
Yeah.
he might go to jail soon after, who knows. But for a while at the convention, I think Walt will just be working for whoever in the Trump family needs him.
Yeah.
But crazy town. Yeah. Okay, so we got the convention sorted out. Good.
Well, maybe there'll be another hurricane that'll show up, and they can blame Biden for having the weather genies come and mess with that's what they did last time in
you're
Florida.
right. There's something weird like that. Some weird weather thing. Some weird thing that nobody planned on could happen during that time of the convention. I mean, there's so many things going on that weirdness like that could happen. On the other
Because
end,
for the first time ever, the meteorologists have now developed a Cat 6 hurricane.
Oh, God.
Cat 6 is 197 mile an hour sustained winds and up.
So
and they say that we're probably going to get one this summer.
Wow.
I don't know if it's going to be Atlantic or Gulf, but yeah, it's kind of freaking us out down here.
Yeah.
yeah.
And isn't the Democratic convention in August, a month after the GOP? So that could that could be dangerous as well.
But the GOP thing is in Michigan or something, isn't it?
Wisconsin, I think.
Oh, Wisconsin. Well, even Wisconsin. I mean, that's not.
Well, then maybe it'll be tornadoes, not a hurricane.
Yeah, but could be. All right. Well, I don't want to keep everybody much longer because it's already been an hour and a half. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you to all of you in the chat for your marvelous questions. They
Yeah.
really launched and sparked great
Yes,
discussion.
yes.
Thank you so much. And as usual, I need to thank Gerald for managing all of that for me, because you know that I'm really crap at the comments.
They were really, really engaged questions tonight. So the chat, you were awesome. Thank you.
Yes. And
Really
not
awesome.
questions. They're
Gerald is the master, so you know he's good at it.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
And we'll be back.
Thank you
When will
all.
we be back? When are we back? Does anybody know?
Mhm.
And this is the
Well, technically it would be the 21st, but you'll be on vacation.
Yeah, that's right. I'm
Mm.
on YouTube vacation.
Mhm.
But then the following week after that, the 28th, the Cool Crone Oracle will go on, but Gerald's going to host for me because I'll still be on YouTube vacation. Okay. So thank you very
We
much.
will be back on the 5th of July then.
4th of July. Yep. I'll be back.
No, 5th.
Oh, 5th. You know, you're right. 5th of July for PoliTarology. That's right. So I'm really glad that we were able to do this. This is my favorite game to play after all. And thank you everybody for joining us. Let me get ready here for my ending thing. And we'll see you next time on PoliTarology. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.